He's gonna shoot. Oh, he's going to shoot. Oh, look at that. That was a good save, eh? Yeah, here's the left side and the right side, though. His right hand, That's a tough guy to score against. It's a Grand Fuhrer, he's got the opposite way there.
You're better than Jimmy.
Yes.
Welcome to our conference preview edition of the NHL Show.
Oh, yeah.
NHL Now, we'll call it.
NHL Now. Oh, okay.
Let's start with the Eastern Conference, because why not? We talked about Detroit in our last segment. Who do we think is going to be the top seeds and who eventually might represent the Eastern Conference in the Cup Finals come this June?
I would like to say the New York Rangers are going to put on another performance, but I think they weren't as good as they played last year, so I'm not going to say those guys. Philly, I think they're pretty good. I think the Red Wings will be in there. But man, it's kind of tough because all the teams that used to be the big favorites aren't quite as good as they used to be. Like the New Jersey Devils, used to be easy to say New Jersey, but is this Brodeur's last year?
This might be
I think he announced it, didn't he?
I'm not sure if he's gone. Yeah, he might have already left after last year because I remember the Wings played the Devils the day before the trade deadline. Everybody thought it was going to be Brodeur's last game in New Jersey, and they kept him.
Yeah, I think he'll play, but I think this will be Brodeur's last year. No, I think Philadelphia is the team that I think to look out for in the Eastern Conference. They're tough, they're physical, they're relatively young. I think they've been smart in the free agency, so they're a good one. The other team that they bowed out early last year in the playoffs, but they're run by a smart guy in Steve Yzerman, is the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I'm going to go, my three teams in the East will be Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, and Detroit.
Okay. As I predicted and I can't stand this, another rematch, Boston-Chicago, and it's like, can you go anywhere other than those two teams?
Yeah, that's why I didn't say Boston or Pittsburgh. It's like, I was going to say Pittsburgh, but it's like, actually, shoot, I'm going to throw Pittsburgh in there. I'm going to leave Boston out because they're bound to not have a deep run pretty soon because they've been going so deep in the playoffs the last few years. Eventually, you get burned out. So this is the year I think they get knocked out early. But I think, I'll throw Pittsburgh in there just because I have to. I have this, I don't like Sidney Crosby, but I kind of don't mind the Penguins much. I like their old uniforms better, but it all stems from liking Mario Lemieux. He was such a great player to watch. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't know that because you weren't born the last time he played, but I watched him growing up, and he was great. So
I know of Mario Lemieux, but
Mario Lemieux.
That tells me I'm young too.
Because he's French. It's a French name. Oh, it's a French name. Oh.
Speaking of French, Montreal, I thought after they beat Boston, I thought they're in the finals. They have to be in the finals. And then the Rangers just clobbered them.
Yep. I have no faith in Canadian teams getting to the Stanley Cup finals anymore.
Because they just haven't been that good. I mean, you're the birthplace of hockey. Wow, and you can't make the finals? Haven't made the finals since 2010?
There's a guy who basically took them to where they took them, and that was P.K. Subban, who, he's awesome. That is a beast of beasts. Yeah, class act, absolute beast. Tremendous player. I mean, not that it has anything to do with anything, but I'm going to say he might actually go down as maybe the best African-American player that has ever played in the NHL. He's that good. He's awesome. He's like Bobby Orr good. Now, he's only had the one sort of real breakout season so far, but that guy's he destroyed Detroit. Remember down the stretch, Detroit played Montreal twice and got blown out twice? That guy blew them out. So I think he's good, but Montreal, I don't see a repeat performance. I think they were like New York. They played better than they really were last year.
Yeah. Of course, you can't ever count out Boston right now because, well, they won the President's Trophy last year. There's nothing you can do about that. So my top four is going to be, I can't go away from Boston. Rangers, I think, might be in one of the top seeds.
Okay.
But they might bow out early. I'm gonna go with Detroit also because everybody's back.
Yeah. I mean, they're a deep team.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. A deep, experienced team is dangerous.
And then I'm gonna throw in, what the hell, Philly. I'm gonna throw in Philly just because.
Okay. No, it's fine. Those are good picks.
Mm-hmm. And let's go with the Western Conference now. Of course, I think the Eastern Conference now is 16 and the West has 14. I wish they could be 15 and 15 and not have to lure somebody way out east to the West like they did to Detroit for years and years and years.
Yeah. They'll just have to create a new team somewhere.
Seattle?
Move somebody. Yeah, move.
The Florida Panthers. Move them to Seattle.
You know, if the Florida Panthers, if the fans can still throw rats on the ice, I would disagree with you on this, but they can't. So, yeah, the Florida Panthers are pretty much a dead franchise. They can move to Seattle. That'd work.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say I love the LA Kings. They won the cup last year, so I'm probably not going to choose them to win the cup again because it's really hard to repeat. You need major motivation, like Konstantinov injured motivation, to win 2 years in a row. So, but I think they'll be up there. The Kings are good, but I'm guaranteeing you they have a slow start. Kings are like that. They won the cup a few years back. Next year, really slow start. Got knocked out in the playoffs. Boom, come back the year after that, win the cup. So
I still remember, Red Wings fans will still remember laughing at the LA Kings because remember what happened back in February? The Wings were down 2-1. I think they went through an empty net. And I forget who it was. I want to say it was Tatar or Nyquist. Took a shot. I think it went off of either Quick or the post and went up into the netting. Hit the netting. The refs didn't even see it. Comes down, goes off of Quick's back and goes in to tie the game at 2.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. He wasn't quick enough.
Well, if I quote The Simpsons here. Excellent.
Oh, I just got to say, that was just bad luck for them, eh? But, no, the Kings are good. The Kings are good, though, I think. But
it was still fun to laugh at them one night.
Yeah. Now, to use the Red Wings justification, I'm going to say the Colorado Avalanche. They were great last year, but really, really young. Now they have that experience.
The only reason I say why Mike Babcock did not win Coach of the Year last year is because of the Colorado Avalanche and Patrick
Roy, yeah.
Wah.
Patrick Roy.
Wah.
Patrick
Wah? Roy. Wah?
Roy. But yeah, no, the Avalanche.
He took a cellar dweller to a north of 100 point team.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why Babcock didn't win Coach of the Year.
But who was the first team to beat Patrick Roy in his coaching career?
Wow. Detroit.
Heck yeah, right on.
Got Kronwald.
Yes, they did. Obviously, there's the team that we all know. It's the elephant in the room that we know is going to be there, and that's the Chicago Blackhawks.
Oh. Don't even.
Yeah, but they were smart with how they signed their players, and whether we like it or not, they're just bigger, badder, and better. They didn't win the cup last year. They didn't get to the finals. They're going to be
Man, when Martinez scored that goal, I was as happy as you could be. I was almost screaming like a girl and jumping around. That's how excited I was when they got eliminated.
He kind of does. I've seen him do videos where he does that, and that's exactly what it's like. Yeah, no, the Blackhawks, I think, will be back, and they'll be looking for blood. So, Blackhawks, Kings, Avalanche, and, one of these freaking years, the San Jose Sharks have got to break through. They can't have this good of a team and never break through ever. So this is the year the Sharks get somewhere late in the playoffs.
They should have won the President's Trophy last year, but they fell down the stretch, and then they should have beaten the Kings, and they fell down there.
Yeah, they 3-love and lost. Oh, man. That there can be no hurt on the planet worse than blowing a 3-0 lead.
And I think they were up 1-0 or 2-0 in the second period of that game.
Gosh, that was like the
Game
biggest.
4.
Yeah, I mean, Kings are a slow starter. They started slow and then woke up and they never looked back. So, but no, I think the Sharks, eventually this team has got to just, they got to get fed up of doing this in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with the Sharks. I think the Sharks make it to the conference finals. And then on but that's the only team I'm going to say is going to get to the conference finals. The other ones I don't know, but.
I'm going to say my top 4, and you might be surprised. Chicago, I can't
Really?
resist but saying them.
Well, I'm surprised.
Well, you'll see.
I'm really surprised. Yeah.
Chicago, San Jose, Colorado, St. Louis.
St. Louis is a good pick. I thought about St. Louis. That's a good one.
They seem to always have more than 100 points. Well, after 08, they always have 100 points. Yet they fall down in the playoffs just like San Jose does.
Who's St. Louis's coach?
Ken Hitchcock.
That's why. Because his teams have always been very well disciplined. Very, very efficient teams. When he was the coach of the Dallas Stars, way back when, same thing. Very efficient team. I wouldn't mind Ken Hitchcock coming to the Red Wings if Babcock ends up leaving.
True.
God.
And just remember, who's on St. Louis? Who helped us? Who helped the U.S. make the? Who scored all the time in the shootout against Russia?
It starts with a P, right?
No.
No.
Oshie!
Oh, that guy.
TJ Oshie.
TJ. That's right, TJ.
We will have our playoff preview and Stanley Cup champion next.
Babcock to Hitchcock, yep. You can never have too many cocks.